How long have they been buried there? You know, anything in history, anybody, but you know, it's just virtually impossible. And I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when I got on, started doing this, one of the things that these guys taught me, including my uncle, who was a member of the 92nd, is that you can't sugarcoat it. You have to tell them exactly how it is. So when I go and do a presentation, I tell people I have to do the good, the bad, and the ugly of this history, because it's just too much out there, you know. And one of the things that gets me is that, you see what this flag is right here? Now, that's a military person buried there, but it's got the flat name right on this there. Well, they tell me that, I don't know, I guess it was a bad hurricane come through here 15 or 20 years ago, and basically a twist of something sit right down in where that cemetery was. Just upset everything in there, because we found, and you see when you get out there, you found some of it flat like that. It'll maybe be 15 feet to the side there, but the slab is still there. So, you know, we figure there's nothing else around, so maybe it belongs on top of that. But we have no way of knowing. Anyway, when I went in, I said, well, this is going to take me 5 or 6 years before I even get a handle on it. But then when the Pacey Guard riders showed up, and the veterans, and one thing about a veteran, you know, they don't care what color he is, what, as long as he wore the uniform, they want to help. So when they came on there, I had guys from the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, even the Merchant Marine. And they came in, and they actually adopted a spot to do that. They said, we'll take care of this part and keep it clean. Not only that, Channel 10, one of the secretaries called me from Channel 10 about 2 months ago. And she said, Mr. Irby, we need you to bring your staff over here. We'd like to talk to you, because Channel 10 wants to do a day of caring. So we went in, we figured we'd just go in and talk to the lower level people. Wasn't like that. When we went in, they said we go upstairs, because we went up in the boardroom of Fox 10. And you all these execs who drive these Range Rovers and Cadillacs and Escalades and everything else. And I mean, they would listen like a child listens to Santa Claus. I mean, they were really intense. And so the gentleman said, well, Mr. Irby, we'd like to come out there. I said, well, we try to go out there from 10 to 12 on a Saturday. But if you'd like to come out there a specific day when you want to bring your employees, then you're welcome to do that. And we figured, okay, when we left it, we said, okay, yeah, these guys, big shots, they big money people, you know, they ain't coming nowhere. They probably sent 2 or 3 of their employees out there. However, that Tuesday, when I went out there, I called myself getting out there ahead of them. Went out there, and there were 15 trucks from Channel 10 out there, including 2 satellite trucks. After that, about a half dozen more showed up. Even the exec showed up. When you see a guy with a shirt and tie, and he's driving a Range Rover and sitting up there, and all of a sudden he get out the car, and he's got his tennis shoes on, his t-shirt on, and put his gloves on. That was really impressive. So they were getting out there with their weed eaters and everything. You know, a couple of them had those zero-turn lawnmowers, and they said, we want to adopt this spot. So once a month we'll come back. And we were really grateful that by the same time while we were doing that, we had sent a letter to the governor and the attorney general to say, look, you know, this cemetery has been here. There has got to be somebody that knows something about this. We'd like for the attorney general to start an investigation to see who in the heck was the last person to have this cemetery, and just hang him out to dry. Because this is, to me, it's an embarrassment to myself as a black person and as a veteran, as an American, who have family members buried in that cemetery that wore the uniform that defended this country. And for somebody to just take money from somebody and say, okay, well, we'll keep it clean for you, and then they just put the money in their pocket and go to the casino with it. So we didn't like that. Anyway, I have found on one end of it now, and you see out there, the Whitney Street side, Whitney Hope Road, all the way back to Revolution Church, what we call that no man's land, because nobody's ever been in there. I mean, it was just really, really bad. There were some people, there was one lady from Baldwin County, I never forget, she brought her daughter out there with her, and there was a headstone you only see about that much at the top of it. But it was a military headstone. I mean, the white ones that normally sit up like that. And so she started digging on it, and I told her, be careful now, don't go too far down there because there's a lot of sunken stuff in here. But about an hour later, the daughter came and she said, Mom, I want you to show you stuff. When I went over there, she had found a Marine that was buried in that. I mean, he was at least 3 feet underground. And so when she dug it up there and put it up there, and then so from that time on, I said, okay, maybe we need to focus it on. Because when I went in there, I divided the cemetery up into 4 different sections. You know, we wanted to do the whole roadside first, simply because that was facing the street. So when people pass by there, because people pass by there now and didn't pay attention to it, so we wanted to make an impression. The Whitney Street side was the same side. We wanted to make an impression there so people come out there, they wouldn't just see trees and shrubbery. The Cemetery Lane side, right between Catholic Cemetery and the Oak Line, is still kind of rough because you can get in there for the first, I'm going to say, 35 to 40 yards, but that's it. And then the rest of it is there. I had a gentleman from Missouri call me on my cell phone a couple of days ago. Him and his wife had come here. This was a man that was, while he was in Germany when him and his wife got married. They came to America for leave or something. She got pregnant. He had a daughter. And the child lived to be 3 years old, but then she passed away all of a sudden. So they paid the cemetery, they figured out that, but they didn't know where she was. And because it was a military van, I said, okay, well, do you know the general area that you see? He said, yeah, it was on the Cemetery Lane side. It was almost to where the Catholic Cemetery. So after he left, you know, he wanted to pay us, but we refused to take any pay. Even for the veterans from the family come out there, we refused to take any money to do that, you know, because it's just something that just needs to be done. Anyway, I told him, he said, we're just here for a few days, because going back to the hotel, if you find out anything, let me know. 2 days later, I called him, and I think Mr. Crawford, I said, well, you and his wife meet me out at the cemetery, and he came out there, and when he came out there, we went in the cemetery now, 15 feet from Dr. Yvonne Kennedy gravesite, like right on the corner, but on the Cemetery Lane side, about 15 feet under the magnolia tree, we found his child. So we cleaned it off, put some flowers there. We even put a flag by it, because a lot of flags on some of those grave sites are for relatives that we have found that they're not military, but the people are up in age, so they can't weed, they can't cut the grass, they can't do anything. So we cleaned it off for them. We put a flag by it so that while we're cleaning up that veteran's grave, we clean up that grave also. But anyway, we had that on that Whitney Street side, that God, no man's land. I had a pastor at Redemption Church in Saraland called, and he saw the members at the South Alabama Veteran Council meeting. He said, Mr. Irby, we'd like to come out and do a little cleaning, a day of care, and also like Channel 10. I said, okay, we'll put you about this, just a little bit larger than this area here. I said, it's really rough, it's on the Whitney Street side, and we'll let you clean it out. He said, okay, so I went out there about 5 minutes after 6 because they were supposed to get there at 6:30. I did not know they were there at 5:30. Not only that, when I went out there, as soon as I turned the corner, there were 15 pickup trucks parked on the street. I went around the corner, there were 15 more trucks parked around the corner. In all, they showed up, they had 155 people that were lawnmowers. 3 of the people in Saraland on landscaping business, brought their employees. And let me tell you, we jumped on that porch on the end there and just went through, and then all of a sudden it was like a new, finding a new city. But it was really, really enlightening. And you know, the more you work at it, the better you feel, because these were American servicemen that went to war, and most of them, possibly all of them, were black. They were 17, 18, 19 years old. There were a couple of them out there that were with the horse soldiers, the 9th and 10th Horse Cavalry, and they were born with the Rough Riders. They were 14 years old when they lied about their age and went in there to fight. So you figure, okay, here we're going to fight for a country and then come back. and you still got to get on the back of the school, get on the back of the bus, or you can't go to the restaurant. But they had that wherewithal to say, okay, we need to make a difference now. And you wonder why the relatives of these men and women out here won't help to make a difference now. Because since, and that thing that got really gripped me is that when we went there, I sent a letter to 55 churches in that area. These are some historic churches. Ainwell, Stone Street, Sweet Pilgrim, Shiloh Church, where Cliff Johnson is. Just about every church in there say, look, we need some money and some help to come out and help us out. It's only 2 hours. And out of 55 churches, I only heard from 3. My church, Union Baptist, Little Baptist, and then Mount Gilead around the corner there. But the rest of them didn't do the thing. And we said, okay, well, we have to take it up on our own. That's what we did. So the more and more soldiers started to fill up, and I said, what we really got to do to get some respectability to this thing, we have every man from every branch of the church buried in here. Why not put some 25-foot flagpoles right there on the front where everybody can see it? And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The very next meeting I went to at the South Alabama Veteran Council meeting, I told them what I wanted to do. Every last one of them, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, gave me a flag that same day. The next week, they gave us a check for $400 to buy a flagpole. We put the flagpoles up there, and the entire area completely changed. Because when we first went in there, you walk in there about 15 feet to the right, that was a soldier, and you'll see out there, he's from California, at a nice tombstone on there. But when I went on in there was a bag of household garbage on top of his gravesite. There were chairs, sofas, refrigerators, condom wrappers, everything on there. In fact, one part in the very backpack that they call that, prostitute alley or something, a crack alley. Because the good old boys have a good time back there where can't nobody see them. I hate to go back there in the middle of the night when there's nothing but snakes that will swallow an alligator. So, but I guess they were used to the area, so they went back and forth. But now we worked at it, and I think sometime in February, that's what really piqued our interest. Because the last Saturday in January, Mrs. Mildred Days came to the cemetery, and she said, Mr. Irby, my husband was the leader of the Red Ball Express. He was a truck driver, but he led that thing. And I said, when I come from Biloxi, my daughter brings me to the front entrance, I'll say a prayer, and I'll go back home. I said, okay, he's in the Red Ball Express, what's his name? So she told me, and we didn't say anything to her because 2 weeks later we found it. But we didn't say anything to her because we knew it was Black History Month. So when we did find it, we called Mrs. Kimball, her daughter, and we made some arrangements with the Sarah Land Police Department, the hotel out there in Sarah Land, and said, okay, we want to bring you here. We got something to show you. The last Saturday in February. So they brought Miss Days over there to the hotel, and we'd already made arrangements for the sheriff department, Sarah Land Police, to the escort. And when we brought her over there, we escorted her to the cemetery. And when we got to the cemetery, we escorted her back to where her husband is buried. We had completely cleaned up the place there. She got there, she took pictures and everything else. But then she wondered why was there about 100 chairs set up there in the middle of the street. I said, well, we want you to take a seat on the front seat there. She did not know we were going to have a full military burial, or we were going to fold the flag, have a 21 gun salute, play tap, and then we had the gentleman from the sheriff department that did the bagpipe that played Amazing Grace as he came through the audience and dissipated into the cemetery. It was one of the most, that's ceremonies like that really grabbed me by the throat because here was a woman hadn't even seen her husband gravesite in 15 years. Yet when he got killed in action, instead of having a flag, he would just sit home and bear, and that was it. Now she got a flag. And Mrs. Kimball called me 2 days later and said, Mr. Irby, my mother took that flag home. I was going to put it in a case, put it on the mouthpiece like it's supposed to do. She said, no. She pulled the covers back on that bed, put that flag there. She said, now I've got Milton at home with me, and she put that flag on it, and that's where it's been ever since. So it's been really gratifying doing that. I could sit here and tell you some really gut-wrenching stories about some of the things that go on there out there that we've had out there. Even where our flagpoles are buried. When we first went out there and started digging holes, we started digging holes and we hit a slab about 2 feet in the ground. And I'm like, okay, we got to move over a little bit. But we just didn't want to say, okay, we don't know who it is, but we need to move over a little bit. Come to find out that was a lady named Star Wars, and you'll see her name next to the thing right there. She had a child. The child lived 1 year, and then they buried her. But they buried her on the sidewalk out there. And so we put the flagpole, we just moved them over there so that we maintain this area, and that's my area, what I maintain, where I'm around all the flagpoles. And so we keep the babies there. We found a half dozen children between the ages of 1 year old and 12 years old that's buried right there, that the parents could not even get in there to put flowers on there. So we made it a point that during Mother's Day, Easter, we do an extra cleanup, and then we put an announcement at all the churches, say, okay, now you can finally come out, get out your car and walk in. And not only that, the roads in there was about as narrow as this walkway here. But now you can get 2 cars can pass each other, and you can park on the side while somebody pass by. So we've been doing what we did, and not only that, when Channel 10 came out there, we had sent a letter to the governor and asked them to do an investigation. Not only that, and asked them why this cemetery that's over 143 years old, why it's not on the National Register. But Channel 10 was already doing the thing. They called me out there at 5:30 in the morning to do an interview, and that whole week they did. And the governor must have got the letter at the same time, and then they got all over the internet, all over Facebook and everything else. 1 week after we sent that letter to the governor, asking him why it was not on the National Register, we got a letter back from him saying it is. So, 803 cemeteries in the state of Alabama, only 37 of them on the National Register, we have become number 38. So that gives us a lot of clout now. Even if the council downtown, when I went down there and asked him about doing sidewalks, well, that's private property. I said, no, the city, the sidewalk belongs to the city. Fred Richards is putting sidewalks all over Tunnelville where people don't even walk. How come you can't put a sidewalk on this right here, you know? Well, we spent our budget for this year. But when we got that letter, and I went and addressed the city council, gave each council member a copy of that letter, let them know that it was on the National Register now. Before I left, I tried to leave 3 times from the city council. Each one council would call me back and want to know a little bit more about it. Well, now, he has allocated $30,000 to do the sidewalk on the Hope Road side. So, it's an Alabama Power also jumped in. And there are some trees on the Winter Street side they were so encumbersome that they had anytime the wind blow, they would shake up the lines where the people power would go out and this sort of thing. I called Alabama Power and asked them about doing something. They sent an engineer out from Sarah Land. We walked through it. He said, well, we'll see what we can do, Mr. Irby. But they too had heard what we did. And I don't know, he said, we'll see can we get through it in the next couple of months or something. 1 week later, they had 15 trucks out there. And they cut every tree on the side of Winter Street where you could see even 50 feet. We didn't know Alabama Power, if they get permission from the city, can go 25 to 50 feet from the curb instead of just 10 feet. And that's what they did. So now it's really nice. All we have to do is just maintain control of it. Our biggest problem now would be, well, I'm not saying it's a problem because we've got to the place now where, we just go in and just go attack what we see. It's the rear of it, right past the church. Because we found out there's a general back there, black general. We don't know who he is, where he came from, but there was a lady called from Texas, Houston, that said he's buried back there, in the bar back there. So we just have to check. But that's a place where we probably want to have some heavy equipment to go back there, and we have to be very careful because some of those trees, you can tell when anytime you go in and you see a tree next to a grave site, and that grave site is completely upside down. It takes a tree at least 20 years to get to its full height. So nobody has done anything back there in the last 20, 25 years. So we have to go in there one by one. There are a lot of popcorn trees out there that we're going to take out ourselves. And what I've done, I've contacted 3 tree companies, and I've asked them to say, we'd like for you to come out there and donate some of your time out there. So we're a nonprofit, so you can write off. So if it costs $10,000 to remove that tree, then you just write it off because we have our EIN number. So we try to arrange it where they can come in. I told them, I said, you can't bring any heavy equipment on there because the grave sites are so old, they're cracked, and a limb hit on it'll crack them up. So what they'll have to do, one of the gentlemen said, we'll have to go in and do it piece by piece. Meaning they'll get a bucket truck up there with a guy with a chainsaw and then start at the top and cut it off piece by piece till they get to the bottom. And a lot of them will have to have those stump grinding in them. But it's difficult doing that because that machine is so cumbersome, it's so heavy, and it just shakes the ground. So we don't want to tear up anything. So you may have to get some axes and shelves to go in there and just cut them out. But we intend to get to the bottom of it. But it has been a joy, ladies and gentlemen. You go in there and you face something like that. The first thing I did when I went in there and saw that, I went to turn around to leave. And you say, well, man, this is somebody else's problem. I shouldn't. But then, it's like somebody tapped you on the shoulder and said, no, you can do this. So I got to the edge of the cemetery there, right where the sign is that says Oakland Cemetery. And I just turned around and I said, Lord, I can do this, but you're going to have to send me a couple of people to help me because I can't do it by myself and then I'll be here forever. And this is what destroys the whole concept about it because we get a handful of people in there, it'll work. There's no help from the community at all. And so there's nobody else that wants to help. And sooner or later you get tired. The weather gets next to you, the people, the negative attitudes and everything else. But, when you ask the Lord to do something, you better look out because he didn't send me a handful of people. He sent me a whole regiment. And when we went in there, and we haven't looked back since then, and now with that cemetery now, as you see me go out there, it's the best looking, it's just like everybody else. You just got to remove the trees. Now, sometime after Christmas, we want to go into the second part, and we call it Operation Overload. And I got that from my uncle and those guys in World War II. That name was put in place by President Eisenhower when the Allies went into Normandy. They called it Operation Overlord. So I said, okay, well, we need to do that, but not use overload. We're going to use overload. Meaning we want to overload the area with people and personnel to clean it up. And that's what it's called. It's called Operation Overload. And the second part of it, we call that Operation Cobra. Operation Cobra was the second part after the Allies got into Germany. When they went into Berlin, they just took out everybody else. They were going in for the kill. And that's what a Cobra would do to you. If you get near him, he will kill you. So that's what we intend to do with the beat to the back. But I'm really excited about these ladies here coming here and just to get the peak interest. And you'd be surprised at the support we've got coming here. It's gotten so bad now, ladies and gentlemen, that I Stetson when I'm going out and I stay, I'm shirt and tie and dress like that. It's gotten to the place now where if I want to go to Walmart or something like I used to, I can't do that anymore. I have to go in the middle of the night and go someplace where nobody's paying attention because people run up to you, that's that guy who did the cemetery. Look, I got a cousin. And I'm like, okay, in my position, you have to be diplomatic. So I went in Walmart 1 week ago, just for 5 minutes, just to pick up my wife wanted to go get something. I forgot what it was, and when I got home, I told her I forgot what it was. Because I went in there, and this gentleman he was on a scooter, he kept riding around and looking at me, and I thought, okay, what did I do? Something's wrong here. He said, oh, I know you, I saw you on Channel 10, you at that cemetery, and I'm a military man. I said, okay, well, a 5-minute conversation turned into 45 minutes. By that time, I had forgotten what I wanted, got back in the car, went home, and the first thing my wife said was, where's the trash bags? I told you, have you told me to kill the trash bag? I said, somebody. So I got back in the car and went to another Walmart, but it has been really gratifying everywhere I go now. So when I go If I dress like this, nobody pays attention to me. But if I go and I got my Stetson and my suit on, then it's a whole different story. They look at me and say, okay, there you go. But it's been really gratifying me. I am so grateful for doing what we did. And you know, when you really go back to this, there was one man that really piqued my interest in it before my classmate did. I was with the Patriot Guard riding on my way to Laurel to bury a soldier that was going to Chestnut, Alabama. Then I got a call from Lorenzo Martin. Lorenzo Martin was already in there. They were trying to find some things. And Lorenzo said, Mr. Irby, we need you at the cemetery. I said, man, I'm on my way to a funeral. He said, well, we need Channel 5 or so we need your so I went over there, pointed out a few. And this happened right before. So basically, if there's anybody involved who helped get this thing started, it's Lorenzo. He was the one who called me out there. But we just went out there and we just took a military attitude about it. In other words, we had a goal to go in there and do it, and we were not going to let anybody get in our way. We use our own money, we do our own repair, and anything else. And it's just something that we're just trying to pay back those men and women who did the sacrifice for us. Because when you got people like Dr. Yvonne Kennedy there, you got Dr. Gould, Dr. Franklin, you got J.T. Gaines from the Principal Central High School, and you got Mattie T. Blunt. That Alumni Association came to me about 2 months ago and said, we'd like to find Mattie T. Blunt because when we do our part there at Bridget, they want to put a flagpole there dedicated to Mattie T. Blunt. I'm like, oh man, you gotta be kidding me. Everybody wants to find somebody, but they don't want to come out and do it. But we found it 1 week later, and so now they have bought a 20-foot flagpole. So when we open the park up there at Bridget, there'll be a flag that will be dedicated to the military, but it'll be in memory of Mattie T. Blunt. Anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Again, how old is this cemetery? I got confused with that one.
Well, we figured it was there 3 years after the Plateau Cemetery. Plateau Cemetery was established in 1876. And when we started looking at some of that tombstones and then talking to people who came there or called me from all around the country, they said, no, it was in 1879.
Why were there people buried there from other states?
Well, these were soldiers. They came, they basically came in World War II as well as World War I. My uncle and those guys told me there were 2 types of black men that went into the military during that time. There were the black men from the South who could shoot because they were all raised up around guns. But then there were black men from the North and the Midwest and basically lived a sheltered life who couldn't shoot. So they taught them how to shoot. And so it was one of those deals where when they got killed, died or what have you, they made sure that the family put on where they were born and raised and put on that tombstone.
Who's in charge of the cemetery now? Did you ever find out? You said you were looking.
No, we didn't, and that's one of the things that we're going to have to indulge into later on. Once we do this, I tell you, listen, I had 3 projects when I started this program. Because when I went to Plateau Cemetery some time ago, when I first got here to California, I went back there and Mr. Henry C. Williams took me in the back, and that was a black rock. I mean, it was just kind of weird, like this, sitting up there, and like I said, it had at the top, Irby, killed 1874, and we don't know. Cornelius Woods owned it at one while. And in fact, 3 weeks before he passed away, I was one of the few people that he allowed. He actually called me and said, Mr. Irby, it seems like you're in the right direction, so I'd like to show you something. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. When I went in and sat down with him, I saw things that boggled the mind. He actually had a map, just a little bit larger than this podium here, and that map was in color. And it was a map that showed right where that American flag pole is now, the Confederate 6th Infantry was bivouac there because they could see the Mobile Bay down there. And so that's what they were, that's what they were right before the Mobile Bay. There were other things in there. There were people that were buried before. Now, he's got the first person that was buried in 1931 as well. That went on. But he has records like that somebody passed on to him. And apparently he got in an argument with the city because the city gave the Catholic Cemetery $100,000 for maintenance. They had $100,000 earmarked for Oak Lawn, but they never gave it to him. That was during the Sam Jones administration. So they said, well, you give it back to him later on. They never got to him. So I think he got a little miffed at the city because they didn't do what they said they were going to do, and he just refused to talk to a conservative about it. But I did not know that this man had a liver transplant and a kidney transplant, and he was blind in one of his eyes. So, you know, you go in and you just have to be real careful. I sat there and talked to him for about 45 minutes, and then I said, okay, Mr. Woods, I need to bring my staff in here. So, you know, he said, okay, well, let's do that. And I said, we'll give you back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, we called. They said he was sick. 1 week later, they called and said he had passed on. And now the children are fighting over everything he has, and all of a sudden, nobody knows where all that material is. Yes?
Do you have like a cleaning schedule for the cemetery? Like certain group come out at a certain time, and you just stop by and you help? How does it work?
Yeah, well, the Coast Guard came out. The Coast Guard got just opposite of the flagpole when you see the facing the street. The Coast Guard chiefs come on, they adopted that spot. The Alabama National Guard, the 226 adopted spot are next to them. You know, if somebody comes out of the group and says, we want to adopt a spot like Channel 10, they said, we'll come out twice a month during the summer because the grass grows so bad. But during like the fall, you don't have to come out once a month, you know, because once you get it down like it is now, it stays down. And not only that, at the end of November, we already working something out with the Mobile Fire Department. We are going to do a controlled burn. We did it twice on the Winter Street side, and in the center of where it's really nice, we did 2 controlled burns over there where we just burn out a section. Then we had somebody come in with a power washer, clean off the headstones, you know, and do that. But we are going to poison that area that we've got done now so that the grass does not grow. Because once we get in the back area, we don't want it. In the words of George Patton, we don't like to pay for real estate twice. So once we get through this, we want to say, okay, it's down to where it's manageable now. And not only that, one of the goals was to have people to come in and take care of their own. You know, we can take care of the veterans, but we wanted people to start coming in and take care of their own family plot. And that's what they're doing now. But most of those people are up in age. And when you see a person like Mrs. Hazel Fournier coming there, you know, this lady's in her 80s, she came in there one day, she couldn't believe what it was, and she pulled up in there, asked if she'd drive with her. I said, yes ma'am, driving. And she asked somebody else in there. And when you see somebody get out and you got a walker, they got a cane, and they can go right to the thing, you know, they don't mind coming. There are more flowers, lilies, and everything else in there than ever before. And even though we maintain the military thing, I've got another person here that I just saw in the audience. I really admire what they're doing. That's Mr. Ellis back there. Jim Ellis, him and his wife, Professor Ellis, they are documenting all the people that are not veterans. So that once we get the front part of it done, so not only do we have the veterans, but everybody else that's in there. So we'll have, and we, on the veteran grave site, we do GPS. So if you go to find a grave, you say, okay, John Smith, and they do the same thing. With the regular people, you go to the person. My grandmother's name is Mary Smith. She was born in 1986 and she died in 1987. Then you just go to find a grave, put it in there, and it takes you right, and GPS takes you right to it. So, and another person I see here that I really admire because she told me some things that were kind of disturbing. I'm kind of glad she's here. That's Tracy over there, Tracy Nealon. Yes, she's I didn't know, am I correct to say that the Creole Cemetery, the Mobile Paperboard Company owned?
No. most of the Creole cemeteries, Creoles are buried in Catholic, they're buried in Magnolia, or they're up in Chastang and Seymour's Bluff, and up that way. There are some in Oaklawn, but Lincoln Cemetery is a special thing that's dear to my heart. It was an African American cemetery. It covered both sides of Mobile Street, where the paperboard is, and where Gethsemane is, and the housing complex that is there. The only map that is available of it that I've found is in the St. Louis Tract map book at probate court. And it took me a long time to find that because it's also the only map book they did not have scanned into their system. And I've found so far 216 people that have, through death records, that were buried there. It existed at the very least, the parameters we found so far is about 1914 or 15 up until about 1949. There was a white cemetery that was also part of, connected or adjacent to that. Everyone, when they put stone container or paperboard, I forget which one it's called now, but when they put that there, everyone was given the opportunity to move their people. But really, truly, it was only the white population that had any money to be able to do that. And so everyone that was left was built on top of, essentially. There are some other things that I've heard through the grapevine, some different stories that I've not been able to verify. And I really want to go into, but this particular cemetery, I would love to raise enough money to, at the very least, put a sign up, a historical sign to say, these people were buried here and they still need remembering. And I encountered it completely by accident looking for the burial site of a third great grandfather of a friend of mine. Yes, sir.
There's another cemetery that St. Austin's.
Yes, and St. Austin's is another one that's got some,
Be over 1,000
easily.
burials in there. At least my grave says there's 1,000 records for that.
Yes,
But
yeah.
nobody's not gonna do that because it's surrounded by the community.
It is surrounded by a community, but I do know, and Teresa were here, she can help, maybe Mr. Martin can say something to this, because my knowledge, I'm more about genealogy and research and records. There are more people that are about the cemetery law, and if I'm not mistaken, if you need to get into a cemetery, you have by law the right for ingress and egress to that cemetery.
Right.
It cannot be off limits to everyone. So.
The bigger issue is determining access points, because
Yes.
most of them are supposed to have ingress, egress
Yes.
on being property, so that's.
Yes, but I think that you do still need to ask permission, but they have to say yes.
Yeah, one of the things we did, I attended a prayer service Tuesday evening. I got a call from one of my close friends. In fact, I called her my little sister, Patricia Silverman, from the Mobile Jewish Federation. And she said, we having a private prayer service for the people that were murdered in Pittsburgh. And I said, and one of the rabbis who had just left Pittsburgh was here. So I said, okay, I'll come on. So when I got over there, I sat there and Irby was there, and he wanted to know. So I told him about what we were doing today, so they would show up out there today. But